The myth of the woman who wanted too much. A bite of an apple, a handful of seeds, an outstretched hand, eyes narrowed against a velvet dark that whispers secrets, luscious secrets, bittersweet wine red with the scent of temptation. The woman wants but a single taste. The woman wants too much. A bite of an apple. Bright red flesh breaks open and yields, the whiteness inside screaming, "Let there be light!" And the acrid flame of wisdom burns, turns the night that is to follow all the darker. Adam mourns the loss of Eden. Eve, she mourns the realization that paradise was never hers, as she stands in the shadow of the garden's gate, in the shadow of the man who made her maid, and the shadow of the God who made her woman, not the image, but the image, the reflected light of another's desire, but she does not wish to be ignorant even so. The woman wants to understand. The woman wants too much. A handful of seeds. Rumbling echoes through the dark and slams against the silent stone like desperate hands striking the walls of a tomb, before sinking slowly in surrender to the quiet of an early grave. Trees writhe upward from the ground, skeletons with blackened bones, thin arms bearing heavy fruit with impenetrable flesh that has learned to protect from the scraping of another's teeth, unprepared for the stone that finally cracks its red shell open. Mortals mourn the loss of summer. Persephone mourns the realization that summer sun was never hers, but a gift only given to be taken away by the caprices of hearts that hold her captive. A mother who would shield her from being seen, a man with cold hands, a chariot of bone, and a kingdom crypt of muttering corpses, the weight of them all crushed into 6 red seeds that sit in her stomach like stone. The woman wants to fill the void. The woman wants too much. An outstretched hand. Fingers slip beneath a mask of porcelain so smooth and cool, so fine it makes her shudder. This painted mask, this perfect face of a flawless God that brought her here is still. When he speaks of love, his lips do not move. As the handsome face stays still and cold, she imagines herself a monster underneath, hideous and raw and warm with love, dripping from his slavering jowls, and with a hungry hand she starts to reach for that which is forbidden. Eros mourns the secret lost. Psyche mourns the realization that handsome mask hid handsome face, that in motionless beauty she will never find a reflection of herself. Her pulsing heart is hers alone, and in solitude she must learn to bear the surging hunger to be known, the curse of being human. The woman wants love, fierce, unshielded. The woman wants too much. A bite of an apple, so sweet that it aches, a handful of seeds bitten, spit out, as an outstretched hand turns on the light. Stark, bone-white, it floods the rooms, revealing all her secrets, awful secrets written in shadow between bulging ribs and splattered stains, sour and orange, heavy with the reek of bile as she gives in, bites down, devours, and all of Eden rots inside her. The groans of her stomach cannot silence the myths in her mind that always clamor. Fear the woman who wants too much, who hungers for fruit, for love, for knowledge. Fear the woman born of bone, whose hands in greed rip off the mask and scar the face beneath. She will tear apart the flesh and love you down to the organs and lap up your blood like sweet red juice. Woman, learn to fear your hunger, for you will be undone by the smallest of bites, weighed down in darkness by a handful of seeds, forever damned by your outstretched hand, your inquisitive heart. Woman, live and die in fear, the fear of being too much.